18 pages, so don't worry, I'm not going to read all 18. You can pay me, maybe I'll read them, or we can talk later, but no. So, I was just looking at Ryan's, one of his chapbooks called Complicated Weather. I'm going to read a very brief portion, if it's okay with you. It's kind of an epigraph to the last thing that I read after I read from this chapbook. So, as Ryan said, Memento Mori, remember you're going to die. Each one of us. Okay, it's really not that spooky. Honestly, I started writing this this very long poem, which is the longest I've ever written, probably 6 or 7 years ago, when I foresaw a relationship that I had been there in my life for a very long time was about to disintegrate. So I actually wrote it to try to comfort myself, but it ended up being kind of like a staring death in the face type thing, and both welcoming it and pushing it away at the same time. So if you think about it, if you remember that you're going to die, if you're really aware of that, really fully, like if you embrace that, it's hard to take anything too seriously, right? It really is. I know Steve Jobs, before he died, he gave a commencement speech in which he kind of argued the exact same thing. I think it was to Kenyon College. But anyway, it's hard to take things too seriously. So if your relationship's ending, okay, you can get through it. It's hard to take it too seriously, right? And also, if you remember that death is inevitable and could happen anytime, it's kind of hard not to see beauty, Otherwise, what are we doing? So, honestly, I can't say any more about this because I still don't know what the heck I did here. And that's okay. Probably in a few years I will. But, I wanted to read a couple epigraphs, but that might set the stage a little bit. They're from Tove Jansson and Gertrude Stein, respectively. Gathering is peculiar because you see nothing but what you're looking for. If you're picking raspberries, you see only what's red, and if you're looking for bones, you see only the white. There are bones, and there is that consuming. The kindly way to feel separating is to have a space between. This shows a likeness. Thank you, Gertrude Stein. I don't understand much of what she wrote, but I respect her, and that's one of the things I understand the most, actually. So, this is from Memento Mori. I know, my entries, litanies, a missive sent in the night. Alibi, breviary, reliquary, words to utter as a stay against the dark. She moves through the world like a scarf, though not blousy, not wool. Not the way a scarf moves in wind, erratic, crazed, all capriole and whip, but as one drawn through water. The long red wave of it, nearly ribbon, nearly liquid itself, resisting its surroundings just enough to lend itself definition, by the way it does and does not become one with everything it touches. To be twinned, that's the goal, isn't it? A little cordage and slack, a little knock in the knees. To sleep and wake and dream to the same body by your side. A body grown familiar because desired, and likewise desired because, say it, familiar. But that can't be the only reason, can it? An ability to anticipate the gestures of another, her moves, her wounds, the sounds she makes in the night. Something akin to mastery that is not mastery at all. Without, I'm lion-faced pioneer, gondolier with a soothing voice of gravel. But with her, my hands spinning plates, guts coiled into brilliance. Does that explain it? Dark birds catapult the sky into the soft belly of green stick spring. I rise slowly from the tug and hold of ditch frost. Startle into a bobbing field of grain as the light turns gauzy fire on the horizon. And I crow hop the wheat field silly, febrile, dumb, happy. The dye darkens the water. Somebody coughs. The wind does its winding. A tulip tree scatters its blossoms in a wide arced ring about its base.